No. Oh, hi, everybody. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Goodness,
it's
hi.
happening. It's
Welcome.
actually
Here
happening.
we are. It's another good Willow hunting, everyone. Look
Good
at that.
Willow hunting.
Willow. Oh, Eddie, please. That's a little too
Willow.
harsh. No, come on. Please stop. That's a little
Sorry.
a little bit much.
Sorry.
A little bit much.
Willow hunting.
How, thank you.
We're doing
How's everybody
Back to the Future, right?
Back to the Future. Back to the Future. I'm Jerry. That's Eddie. There's Cody.
Hi,
That's the three
Eddie.
of us.
Hi.
Cody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Here we are. This is how did it take us this long to do Back to the Future?
I don't know.
How the fuck?
Stuff happens, man.
Stuff happens. This was
happens.
my first experience with time travel, I think, in a movie, except for the Time Machine, the H.G. Wells movie. But the
Trying to
first one
remember.
that really hooked me.
I saw
Besides
this-
Superman spinning the Earth backwards.
Yeah,
in
I guess
part
that
one.
counts. I remember seeing this in the movie theater in the
Yes.
summer, 1985. The whole family went. We all loved it. And yeah, this might have been the first time travel movie I remember watching.
I loved every second of it. I don't know if I remember. It was the first I think Empire Strikes Back was the only movie that ended with what the fuck? That I remember.
Yeah.
And then this was, it's your kids, Marty. We're like, wait, what? There's
Gotta
going to be more?
something done about your kids.
And then he just flies off and it says to be continued. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
oh, man.
This was one of the first ones where it's like, hey, there's another one coming.
Yeah. And we're like, what? Like, it
Yeah.
just, man, everything about this movie,
Well, I
as a
remember
kid-
it was one of the first movies I remember going to with my dad
yeah.
that my dad really enjoyed because he grew up in that time period. He grew up in the 50s.
Right,
He was
right.
a teenager in the 50s.
Yes.
And so was my mom. And so I could relate because I was a fan of Michael J. Fox from Family Ties.
Yes, same here.
And he was in the 80s and I was in the 80s and I loved all that stuff. And then they went back to the 50s and my parents enjoyed it, taking me to this movie because they got all the references.
Right.
So it was like a
Everything
perfect
about it.
movie for my generation to go with.
And
the
then your
parents.
parents generate. Yes, it was like I don't know how bad you guys. I wanted to own a skateboard just to hold on to the bumper of a car and skate along.
Oh,
That
he was one of the reasons I wanted to learn how to play the guitar.
Yes,
which I
that
never
opening-
did,
Right.
but I wanted to.
One thing I will say, I think that I still love the movie. I still love this movie. One thing that I think is I didn't realize then, but is so ridiculous now, is the Michael J. Fox lip syncing Johnny Be Good.
Oh, yeah.
It is 1,000% not him. That just leaves it. There's not even close.
Not
It's
even.
just-
It's almost. They might as well play the original Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry and let him lip sync to that.
Right, let's let him lip sync. It was just but I mean that guy. I remember one of the biggest laughs when he just starts shredding at the end and loses the crowd. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, your kids are gonna love it. Like that, dude. Man, look. I could go on and on about this. I think it has one of cinema's greatest villains in Biff. I think Biff is such a great bad
He's
guy.
a classic heavy from the silent film eras.
Yes, and,
He's a classic heavy.
It is, and I just love how he gets his comeuppance in the best
Yeah.
way. I think Crispin Glover should have just walked after this. Like this was
That should have been his
his peak.
go home shot. Just
He
the
was
walk off
so
shot.
That you flip the bat and you leave.
Yeah.
Like that was Crispin
Hey,
Glover.
you.
Yeah.
Keep your damn hands off her. And
He
then
was
walk
so-
away.
And
Just
walk away. He was so fucking great in that. It was, man. Oh God.
Milk.
Christopher Lloyd should have been
Chocolate.
nominated. Chocolate. I really think Lloyd should have been nominated. I thought he fucking as much as everything about this movie works. I think Christopher Lloyd carries this movie as the Doc. I thought he was so fucking great in this. But enough of we love it.
Yeah, of course.
Cody Villafana, you had your memory refreshed on Back to the Future.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I didn't remember most of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So it was kind of a whole new thing for you.
A little bit, yeah. There were
Yep.
certain scenes I remembered pretty clearly, and the rest
Yeah.
was a little fuzzy.
Right.
It is interesting to watch a movie where, like, the base plot of it would not be able to be made today.
It would not.
Where you have to cock block yourself from your mom. And get your parents to have sex with each other. Like,
yes, you have to get your parents
in a way.
to fuck. You have to get your mom.
Or you don't
to
exist.
Fuck you.
You don't exist if they don't fuck.
If you, I thought that was a fantastic plot twist though, where they're like, oh, his mom has a crush on him. Like that was.
I'm not sure it ages well.
It is weird now.
But I don't know.
Back then it was like, what the? Because back then it just added to the stakes. Like, how's this guy getting out of this now?
But you would
know what I mean?
think,
Like,
if you logically think it, if you were to go back in time and be as a teen and you meet your mom as a teen, she might be drawn to you because you are part your mom and part the man she fell in love with that created you.
Right. Yes.
You can see why there would logically be a reason that she would have a crush on that guy.
A weird crush on him. Yeah.
But he also like very nearly instigates a rape. So
yes,
it's a little,
he does. Yes, he does.
Well, he's staging a fake rape.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, sure, that's way better. So never mind.
He's pretending to rape his mom. That's the plan.
It does veer into some troublesome territories.
There's some blurry lines there.
There are some blurry lines.
Yeah. So I mean, this movie could not be made today with the same plot points. I don't think.
Nope.
You'd have to make a couple corrections. Yes.
Which is why I think they'll never remake it for that. I mean, unless they just have to. What did you think? To me, one thing I really enjoyed about this film was everything had a payoff in this world. If that makes sense, like you could tell they really thought it all out. Of course, who the fuck knows how how time travel would actually work? But I do like how they set their rules for this.
Yeah,
and it didn't seem like they just started making it up as they went along. If that makes sense, like
they had an idea of the way time travel works in this world, and they stacked the movie so everything works. Yes. Everything is tight. Nothing can be removed. Nothing should be added. Everything works in this film.
It just it all works with the story of how to get it all back. And I did love that. Like I thought that was very interesting. And
as far as the time travel movie goes, this is one of the clearest time travel movies to follow.
Yes, you're like, okay, I get it. Yeah, this makes sense. Like this is this.
You're not scratching your head like in Avengers Endgame.
Wait, but what about this? Right. Like what I loved
this one's just very simple. Like okay, you fucked this up. You're getting erased in the future. It's very linear.
And I loved all the callbacks. You know how Marty talks to the mayor when he's working at the malt shop, and he's like,
there's tons of those plants and callbacks.
I love how the Twin Pines Mall is the Lone Pine Mall after he runs over the pine when he goes back and
the only part that rung untrue was the owner of the diner when he said, "Man, you could be mayor someday," and the owner of the diner wanted to drop the N-word.
Yes, he did. Oh God, yes.
There's no way no N-word's gonna be a mayor of this. That's what he wanted to say, and in that time, that's what would have come out.
That's what he would have said. Absolutely.
But you can't say that in a PG movie.
You cannot.
That's the only part that did not ring authentic in the 50s.
In the 50s. I loved all the callback, the jokes of and that's the stuff like my parents loved, where when he says you have two TVs, you know what I mean? Like and they're like, what? Like all that shit.
Or even he sees his uncle in the crib. He's like, get used to these bars. Pal.
Yeah, get used to these bars. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I loved all that. Oh man, yeah. Cody, what did you enjoy about Back to the Future?
Well, I think it's definitely super entertaining, and it's got some good funny stuff in there. I think Michael J. Fox is really great.
Yes.
I think Crispin Glover's great. I think Christopher Lloyd's great. I don't think that what's her name?
Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson is very good in it. I think I don't know that character ever pops off screen, other than the situation that she's put in.
Right.
But beside that, I like that. It's funny to see how old Christopher Lloyd has looked for this many years.
3 decades.
They have a great joke about it in Back to the Future too, which is funny.
Yes. Yep. That's right. Which we're gonna get to next week. But
But man, it was just such a weird plot. Just again, like how much of it is about thwarting a rape is in
of your own
mother.
Yeah, and then also of your own design in some ways.
Right.
Like that's his master plan is to create.
I'm gonna try to rape my mom so my dad is the hero.
Yeah, his poor mom who has to be on the receiving end of that. But it was enjoyable. For me, it's some of these movies are a little tough because I feel like this movie was like probably the right movie for the right time and was like lightning in a bottle. because when I watch it, I see like this is good for an entertainment like popcorn movie, but is it like a classic movie for me? Not really, but I imagine at that time,
I think it's a pop culture classic. Yeah, it's a pop culture classic.
And I think if to have a pop culture classic, you have to have been around for it because otherwise it's hard to contextualize it. So for me, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's like I was saying at the beginning. The timing this came out, most kids were in the we were all in the 80s, and our parents were of that generation. So parents took their kids to this movie, and everyone enjoyed it. It could only function in the mid 80s.
Yeah,
because they went back 30 years, I think, on purpose to make it that sort of distinction of children and their parents are now going back. So everyone can relate to this film.
Yeah, they got all the references, everything. Yeah, exactly.
So it's truly one of those films that really, I think, only would have exploded in that time.
Yep. It's true.
Otherwise, they would have had to make the time travel different time periods.
I wonder if we'll ever see most of the Eric Stoltz cut ever. Like even if just a throw in on a 4K disc or some shit. Because you heard, of course, Cody, you know this, right? Like how like what 90% of the film was shot.
Was it 90? Was it that much?
I heard it was a shitload that they shot with Eric Stoltz.
I didn't know it was that much. I knew there was
maybe
like
not 90.
There was like 6 months worth of filming done. I
with him, and they were, and at the last, it was like they just like, no, we can't. I'm just so curious to wonder how he played it that made him go no.
Release the Stoltz cut. Release the Stoltz cut.
Release the Stoltz cut.
Make it a 5-hour Stoltz cut.
Make it a 5-hour Back to the Future Stoltz cut.
Like just adds a bunch of slow motion. It'll be fine.
Right? Yeah. It was. I wonder. I really wonder how much Eric Stoltz.
He shot for 5 weeks.
Oh, it was only 5 weeks.
So maybe not 90%.
So it went from 90% to 6 months to 5 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
We got to get our facts better. But that's why Cody's here.
But that's why people don't come to the Ramble for facts.
No. How much does it say? How much of the film was shot with him, Cody?
It doesn't. It just says 5 weeks is the most that I can find.
That's still a pretty long time.
Well, there's still shots of him and Doc Brown at the parking lot.
Yep, at the parking lot.
So that whole scene was obviously shot.
Yeah. That is.
So you would imagine probably none of the 50s stuff was shot, but like all the present day,
all the 80s stuff. Yeah,
80s stuff could have been shot with him. They maybe cut him before they went back in time.
I also think the principal. I love the slacker. He's slackers. You're just slackers. He was still around. Like that's just. I love all those things, the things that didn't change and the things that did. I love seeing all that.
They keep a hold of that all the way through, all through 3 movies. Like you see, you go back in the third movie, when you go back in the Old West, it's the same characters. It's the same. This town has never changed.
Yes, it's always been the same shit. I'm really fascinated to hear because I love part 2. I know, Eddie, that's not your favorite. Right?
I like 3 better than 2.
Yeah.
2, I enjoyed 2, but 2 is all over the place.
That's what I like about it. What I liked about 2 is like, okay, we've shown you this. Now we're just gonna go fucking bonkers with
But if you look at Back to the Future as 1, 2, and 3 acts, then it's a good second act of a film.
Right, exactly. Yes,
because it is so all over the place. There's some dark moments to it. It's not. It's a very gritty version. There's no uplifting stuff to it.
It is the darkest one, right? 3 doesn't even get nearly as dark as
No, it's all set up for the third act, which is Back to the Future 3. It's a good second act, but it has all the qualities of a second act.
Because, if you think Biff was kind of an asshole in this one, Jesus Christ.
He was, that Biff is what, Trump inspired that Biff character.
Yeah, Trump inspired Biff in part 2. He was inspired by Donald Trump, which is hilarious.
In the 80s, before we even knew how shitty that guy was.
Yeah, they knew. They were like, Zemeckis called it, I guess. I don't know. But, look, so Cody, what grade do you give Back to the Future?
I would give it a B.
Ooh. That's a higher one. That's a higher one for you.
Again, enjoyable, but just doesn't hit the classic mark for me because I wasn't around for it.
Sure.
So it just ends up being so I don't know. I'm trying to think of something comparable where I don't know, something like Jurassic Park for me hit at a time where it's like pop culture, biggest thing in the world, and I get it because I was part of it. But this. I'm missing.
That's a good one though. That's a good comparison. I think Jurassic Park's a better movie still. You know what I mean? I think Jurassic Park is more of a classic I think Back to the Future is more of a classic popcorn flick. But like I said, if I had kids, I would feel less awkward just having him watch Jurassic Park than I would
Well, yeah,
a movie about a guy whose mom tries to fuck him.
You have to have some conversations after that.
Yeah, you have to have some talks. Jurassic Park, like, here, let's just have a blast with this. So, yeah, absolutely. Eddie, what do you give back?
It's still an A to me. I mean,
Still an A.
I can pop this in and just enjoy it. I don't.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies I don't have to overthink when I watch it. I can just completely relax and just I buy into whatever they're trying to sell me and I go with it.
I give it an A2, and I think the soundtrack helps because that's a killer soundtrack.
Huey Lewis. Fuck, man.
And Huey Lewis. Come on.
Huey Lewis.
Huey
You're just
Lewis
too
cameo?
loud. You're just too loud.
Did the Huey Lewis cameo do anything for you, Cody, or no?
I did like that. Yeah.
You're just too darn loud.
I was more talking about the bum, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum, but you were more on the that's the power of love.
Yeah.
I mean, they both work. That's one of those rare ones where the orchestrated score and the fucking song
soundtrack works.
The soundtrack works. Well, there we go. What a great Good Willow Hunting. We're back. We're going to see you next week, as we won't do trades, obviously, but we're going to get Cody's take on the rest of the trilogy, 2 and 3, before we dive right into Revenge of the Nerds and Breakin'. Cody, Revenge of the Nerds is on HBO Max. Okay. So there's that. Breakin', I don't know. We might have to think of something else.
I don't know how we get that one out. And
Breakin' might be tough.
And because it was in the early mid '80s, they could not have a relationship between the two leads.
No, they could not. They
had all this. They had all the sexual tension between the two leads, but they could not have the relationship established.
Couldn't do it
because it was a black man and a white woman.
Breakin' is not streaming nor available to rent or purchase. They have.
Well, I guess
they're trying to keep it
eliminated
from us. They're trying to keep it from us.
What do we pair with Revenge of the Nerds? We got to think. Well, Eddie and I will.
Bachelor Party? Have you seen Bachelor Party?
Ooh, the great Tom Hanks.
I don't think so. No.
Splash.
You know what's weird is that Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo is readily available, but Breakin' is not.
That makes no sense. That makes no fucking sense.
And I feel like I don't want to be lost when I'm watching Breakin' 2.
No. We don't want to do that to you.
You have to see Breakin' to understand Breakin' 2.
Absolutely. It's that's like you start a book in the middle of it. You can't.
It's like seeing Revenge of the Nerds 2 before seeing Revenge of the Nerds. You won't know what the hell's happening.
What do we pair with Revenge of the Nerds, Eddie? We'll think about this, right?
Yeah, we'll think about it. I think, right.
Splash,
Bachelor Party.
Bachelor Party's a great one. So Splash. We got to see how readily available those are.
All right.
I have seen Splash.
Oh, all right.
So there is that.
Bachelor Party? Have you seen Bachelor Party?
Have
you seen Weird Science?
Oh, Weird Science. Weird Science.
No.
We got to see if that one's available. All right. Have you seen Say Anything?
No, I've not.
Okay.
That one's out there. Okay. We can work with
that. Might be one you don't hate us after you watch.
Yeah, you might not be that mad if you see Say
Anything.
Anything.
We could maybe throw some of those in every so often.
Why don't we do Cody a solid? Because I don't know how he's going to feel about Revenge of the Nerds.
Well, talk about a movie that could not be made today.
I've seen a scene from it that doesn't seem to be.
It does not age well.
Does it involve a tricycle?
Certainly does.
Oh man.
Oh boy, yeah, oh fucking great. Yeah, you cannot do that one today.
We got Bush.
There's a lot you could not, but okay, so I say we do Revenge of the Nerds, Say Anything. Okay. What do you think? How about that?
I think we could manage that.
We could do that after Back to the Future 2.
And make sure Say Anything's available.
I think it's Prime, I think
we can probably pull it off. Yeah.
All right, we're going to do this. All right. Well, you know where to find us. We love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe. All is. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for Ramble Radio. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.